Hello everyone and welcome to North of 60. I'm Heidi Schweighofer. Today is our third in the final series of what other neighboring communities are doing for their seniors. And I'm so happy to have Laura Siefer from Twinsburg here. Laura has got a new title of Community Engagement Manager, but I remember her as a very effective senior director when I volunteered for them many years ago. So, pretty good.
Thank you, Heidi.
Now, Laura, tell me, how did you even get into the job? I don't think I ever knew that.
So it's a long story, but I'll try to be as brief as I can.
Thank you.
So I grew up in upstate New York, and my parents were both teachers. And at a young age, I knew that I wanted to serve other people, help other people in some way. I did not know to what respect that was, but went out to college and decided social work was going to be my gig. So I got a bachelor's of social work degree, and I got a bachelor's of science in Bible, and then started on my way to Ohio, got my first job in Ohio. And I was working with developmentally disabled and mentally retarded adults in a group home setting. Did that for a number of years, and then moved on to a long-term care setting and decided recreation is a little bit more my thing. So I became the recreation director in a long-term care facility. And after 6 or 7 years there, I said, you know what, I need something else. I want something else. I'm ready for a change. So the Twinsburg job became available. They had recently just built a new senior center, and they were looking for a senior center director. And so I applied for the job, and 20 years later, I'm still there.
20 years?
Yes, we're actually celebrating our 20th anniversary celebration this year.
Oh my gosh, that is wonderful.
That's what brought me to Twinsburg.
Congratulations.
Yes.
That really is something. You know, Laura, I want to focus briefly on the city. Then I want to talk with you a little bit specifically about the senior center, and then let's talk about the other kinds of things that you do for seniors, the other services you provide. Generically, what is the population over 60 in Twinsburg compared to the regular population? Is there a percent that you're aware of?
So according to the most recent census results that they have available, somewhere between 18 and 20% of the residents who reside in the city of Twinsburg are over the age of 65. So that's a pretty significant portion of our population. Yeah. And of course, we have some residential facilities there for assisted living, independent living, some memory care units and so forth. We have those as well. But most of our seniors live independently in their own homes, condominiums, single level homes, things like that. So a lot of them reside right in the community themselves and are looking to be involved and stay active as they're aging. And so I have to say our Mayor Sam Scafidi and our city council members are always very supportive of anything that we want to do at the senior center. My director of the Parks and Recreation Department, Jennifer Bettinson, has always been very supportive of any new ideas or programs that I was looking to bring into for the seniors as this population continues to grow.
Yeah, here too.
I mean, not only do we have those 65 and better, but now people are living into their 90s, 95. You know, I talked to a son the other day. His mom is turning 97 in a few weeks, you know, and she's still living in her own apartment independently.
Isn't that wonderful to hear those things?
Our population is aging and continuing to grow. So, you know, like I said, the support that we receive from the city for what we're able to provide is just amazing. We couldn't do it without their support.
You are very, very lucky to have the city support. I have forgotten, you are under the Parks and Rec Department, and so all senior activities and community activities are under that, and then does it report directly to the mayor or to city council?
So I report directly to the Parks and Rec director.
Okay.
Okay, and then we have an administrative assistant to the Parks and Recreation director. We have a fitness center manager, which is going to soon be an assistant recreation director. We're bringing on board here in the next few weeks. And I also have one staff member that I'm responsible for who helps provide our transportation service for our seniors.
Okay.
So we are under the umbrella of the Parks and Recreation Department.
Laura, you are function though essentially as the one senior director. You don't, I mean, except for the receptionist or the assistant, I don't want to call her a receptionist, but you don't have another part-time senior person.
Unfortunately, we do not.
Yeah.
No, apart from, like I said, my full-time transportation provider, Jennifer Post, who does an excellent job with our seniors. She'll step in if I need something here and there in between her transports. But, you know, and then our department works very well together as a team.
Good.
So between the director, our administrative assistant, and our marketing coordinator, our aquatics manager, we all work very well together as a team.
Good.
So we help each other out with different events and are involved actively in the community events that we provide.
Let's talk a little bit about the senior center. My understanding is that it's also a community center, can be used for community events. I remember kids coming in one summer for, and then the whole half, though, was all seniors. Tell me if I'm wrong.
So our senior center is actually attached to our community center.
Attached to it,
Yeah,
okay.
so our community center does service our day camp program for the kids during the summertime, and actually last Friday was their last day of camp, and of course the kids are starting back to school already.
Yep.
So our building is quiet once again. But yes, so we house the community center, and then the senior center is its own separate entity, even though it is attached to the community center.
Oh, okay.
So the senior center is separate, has its own separate entrance, and the seniors know to come in the senior center entrance. But we do rent out our rooms in the community center for people to use for bridal showers and baby showers and wedding receptions and things like that. So our senior center is open 8:30 to 3:30, Monday through Friday. And then our community center is open on weekends for rentals and in the evening for any specific rentals for HOA associations, different organizations within the city and so forth.
And yet you can use community space if needed. I remember some of your ginormous parties where you would have that big room off the kitchen. That's not considered senior center.
No, that's the community center.
Okay.
Our multi-purpose room in the community center can hold up to 150 people.
Oh my goodness.
So unfortunately, since the pandemic, our numbers unfortunately are not as high as they once were.
Yeah.
So we're able to right now at this time use our senior center, and the capacity for the largest room in our senior center is for 100. So we are able to accommodate a good number of folks for that as well.
And you have so many, you have so many things that people can do. I remember an art space. I remember a pool table. There's a lounge. There were computers. Is that all the same? Is it changed?
It has changed a little bit.
It's been a while.
The one thing that we did change is we just completed a massive renovation of our senior center. So we have pergo flooring, we have brand new furniture in our lobby area.
Oh, how nice!
We have a nice little coffee bar set up for our folks when they come in.
Nice.
We still do have the billiards room, and we still do have computers for folks to use if they choose to come in. We've redone our card room with new furniture and new tables. We've redone the carpeting in our large room, so half of it is the wood flooring and half of it is carpeting. Our craft room is still very accessible for our watercolor classes. We've brought in a new artist this year who's offering additional art classes. And then, of course, we have our ceramics class, and then we have our Sumi painting class, which is starting back up again here in September.
How cool. I remember seeing people's paintings in your the vestibule there.
We do. We still have a very active photo display right now of local artist Judith Kaner. She has shared her photographs with us. And we are looking in the next few weeks to put up a new artist, Jeannie Henderson, who runs our art studio in Twinsburg, named October Sky, and she's going to display her artwork. So we're very excited to highlight some of our local artists and some of the work that they are so talented in providing.
I remember thinking how neat it was that people were there and using that senior center space, some just to sit and visit with each other, and a lot of guys in the pool area or pool table area, and some women playing mahjong, I believe. And I just thought it was absolutely wonderful. Do you still offer lunches?
So our lunch program took a turn during the pandemic.
Yep.
Obviously, with the senior center shut down and so forth, we had to come up with a new plan. That new plan involved delivering meals to folks in
Oh.
their homes. So the way that we do this currently is our senior apartments in town get a meal from Innovation Foods, which is a local catering company, and they get 5 prepared meals on Tuesday afternoons. So those 5 meals are packaged and ready to go. And they order for the number of residents that are in their building, which is around 100. And unfortunately, not everyone wants to take part in the service that is provided. So they had some extras, and they reached out to me and said, hey, do you know anybody that could benefit from some meals? I said, sure, I'll be happy to. So during the pandemic, we delivered to homebound folks those additional meals. Now, obviously, the pandemic is over now, thankfully.
Yes.
But we are still continuing to provide meals for a number of individuals. Not a large group of people, because obviously people now are able to get to the grocery stores and so forth. So we deliver to about 12 people on Tuesdays, those 5 prepared meals. And then on Wednesdays, what we've decided to do is provide a hot, nutritious meal from one of our local catering companies, Tasty Takeouts in Oakwood, that we work with. And so we're able to provide a hot meal to our folks every Wednesday.
In the senior center, or
We
delivered?
deliver those as well.
Oh,
Yes.
Laura.
So right now we're working on just revising our guidelines for our meal program, because we know there's more people than this 12 or 14 that would benefit from
Yeah.
a program like
Yeah.
that. So we're working on revising that and setting up some guidelines for that program so that we can serve a greater number of seniors that may have the food deficiencies and
Yep.
need that
Yep.
additional help.
Yep.
So we're working on revising our program right now so that we can serve a greater population for that.
Do you have I'm just asking because I remember it, and it's what we do here. We have, thankfully, sponsors, we call them, places that serve adults, seniors, whether it's assisted living or home care or whatever, who once a month or twice a month will bring in a meal, a lunch, or a delicious snack for anyone who's present at that date. Do you have coffee and pastry, you mentioned?
Yep, so we have a coffee and pastry every Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays, Panera is nice enough to provide us with their day-old bakery, and trust me, the seniors don't care that it's a day old.
I wouldn't care.
Have you seen those cinnamon rolls
Yes.
on the side of those cinnamon rolls, or those bear claws? They're very popular.
Yes.
And then on Thursdays, we get day-old bakery from Heinen's, which is obviously already packaged, and whatever they didn't sell, they then give to our Twinsburg senior nonprofit organization within our senior center. And so we're able to provide a coffee and pastry event for our seniors. But in addition to that, we have some lunch and learn programs where we bring in,
Yep.
Barron Law has been very supportive in providing law programs. So we did an estate planning program, we did a Medicare spend down program. They're going to be doing a program at the end of September, charitable giving, and how to benefit most from that.
What a good idea.
So Barron Law has provided lunch and learns for us. Some of the local real estate companies have. They've done
Really?
a downsizing
Yeah,
and
we've had
decluttering
that.
program,
Yep,
which
yep.
who doesn't need that?
Yep.
I took a few tips from that
Yes,
myself.
you aren't kidding. I did
So
too.
we do have sponsors that also provide monthly brunch and bingo events for us, but a lot of our lunch and learns revolve around educational programs.
That's what
our
ours do,
memory
too.
programs that we bring in, communications, things like that.
Okay.
And that's primarily where we provide the meals.
Okay, we do exactly the same thing. We even call them lunch and learn programs.
Yep.
So we're right on.
You are right on target with us. Yes.
Do you offer classes? Now you said the lecture, so lunch and learn. Classes, exercise, we call them movement or wellness here in Hudson. Any of that kind of stuff?
So we do. We have our vision at our senior center is to provide not only their physical needs, their social needs, emotional needs, and mental needs. That's what we do at our senior center. So we want to meet their physical needs. So part of that is we have a gentle exercise program, which they follow a videotape, and they do some basic range of motion movements. But the highlight probably for our exercise program is our Silver Sneakers program, which we have at our fitness center. We have a very large and active Silver Sneaker group that they participate Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in the exercise classes. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays after exercise, they come up and enjoy some coffee and pastry. So we have a great group that enjoys that.
That is a wonder.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you offered it right at the fitness
So
center.
that's at our fitness center.
Yeah.
We also have an aqua fitness class that meets at our outdoor pool during the summer months. They move to the indoor pool during the winter months, obviously.
Yeah.
So we have a very active, when our fitness center was shut down during the pandemic, the first group that was ready to come back were our seniors. And they
I
said,
bet.
when can we come back? We're ready. We're ready for our silver sneaker classes again.
You know, Laura, there's only, I believe, in Hudson, one facility that offers silver sneakers. And if you go and visit it during the day, it is packed.
Yes.
And it's packed with people over 60.
Yes.
You know, it's a wonderful thing to see. Would they have an indoor pool? They have Zumba and all of that
Yes.
sort of stuff. And I was shocked at even the number of people walking the track. So that's excellent.
Yes, and the aging population is changing.
Yep.
So
They're not sitting around.
They are not. Our
Nope.
baby boomers want to stay active.
Yep.
They want to stay involved. They want to say, what can we do for your community?
Yep.
You know, our Twinsburg Senior Board is very active in our community. Recently, they had an Alzheimer's fundraising event. I'm sure you're familiar with the longest day
Yes.
that the Alzheimer's Association
Yes.
promotes. Well, our Twinsburg Senior Board did a fundraising event, and today they're actually presenting a check of over $2,000 to the Alzheimer's Association for that event.
Oh, how wonderful.
So they're very active and involved. They do meal delivery for us once a month. They do our coffee and pastry events for us. So they're very active. They participate in our fall festival. They're volunteers at our Rock the Park concert series. So they're a very active group of individuals that just want to give back to the community. And so we're seeing that. And so therefore our programming has to adjust to that. You know, they're not interested in always playing bingo. We do have bingo. But in addition to bingo, we have so many other things that our baby boomers are interested in. We do a lot of trips. In fact, today we have a trip going down to the Cleveland Playhouse to see Irma Bombeck. There's a show.
Oh, yes.
So-
I heard she was
So we
coming.
have a group
Yes.
going to see that,
Yes.
you know, and so all the shows at Playhouse Square that you see advertised on TV, I think the next musical that's coming up is Six. We have a group that's going to that. We do Great Lakes Theater, the Hannah Theater. We go to a Guardians game every year. We did a community day at Canal Park for the Akron Rubber Ducks this year. And actually, I think it's this weekend, we're taking a trip to Grand River Cellars Winery for a dinner, and then we're going to the Rabbit Run Theater for the show Cabaret. So our folks are interested in traveling, and I do believe it's at the end of September, we're heading to Lancaster, Pennsylvania for an overnight trip to the Sight and Sound Theater. We're going to go to a winery on Friday, and then
how
the next
fun.
day we're going to see Moses at the Sight and Sound Theater. So our group wants to do things. They're like, what's next? Where are we going next? We do.
Laura, how do you, Laura, decide on these trips, or do you decide on them with your senior group? And how many people, I'm asking specifics, how many people can you fit in the bus? Do you own the bus? Who drives the bus? Everybody has buses, and our seniors so much here want to go on day trips, and we've talked about it, but we don't have the transportation or the money or the driver or the...
So we do two different things for our trips.
All right.
So for the trip today, I was able to secure my driver to be able to provide transportation.
Now,
So
you
she's
say your driver.
the driver that we have hired. We have a
Okay.
full-time transportation
Okay.
provider.
All right.
And she works from 8 to 4:30 Monday through Friday.
Wow.
And so because this is a trip that's during the day, I asked her if she'd be willing to take the group down to Cleveland Playhouse. So she's going to take one of our buses. We actually have two senior buses. One of our buses is a wheelchair accessible bus, which holds 14 people, 12 people in 2 wheelchairs, or 14 individuals without wheelchairs. Or we also have another vehicle, which is the Ford Transit, which holds 12 individuals, and it is not wheelchair accessible.
Okay.
So we typically take our transit vehicle when we go on trips.
Sure.
And we take 12 people. Now, for our larger trips, for example, we went to Rabbit Run earlier this year, and we had 35 people that wanted to go. So we rented a luxury coach. I use Brecksville Road Transit oftentimes for that. Now, those are not cheap. and therefore we have to then put the cost of that transportation then into the ticket price.
Okay.
So for example,
Okay.
today the ticket price for Irma Bombeck I think was $20. I charged our seniors $25, and that included $5 for transportation. Since we were taking our vehicle and our driver,
Right.
we didn't need to pay that additional cost of
Right.
a luxury coach.
Okay.
So that's the way that I typically do those. Now, as far as planning for our trips, usually in September or October, I have what's called a lunch with Laura. So we have lunch, and then I ask people, bring me your ideas. What do you want to see us do in the next year? And then what I'll do is I put together a PowerPoint presentation, and then I'll send it out to them via email saying, these were some of the thoughts and suggestions that came to mind during our little lunch and learn. What ones interest you the most that you would like me to pursue?
What a great idea.
So that's pretty much the way we plan for the next year. So I'm already talking about, okay, what am I going to do in 2024?
Yeah,
Okay,
we are too. But
get your ideas together, because either September or October, we're going to have a luncheon and we're going to figure out what we might want to do. So bring your ideas, bring any information that you have regarding these types of trips so that I have a price range, something to go on. And that's pretty much what we do. So I get the senior input, and then I try to put all of that together
That's a great idea.
to try to plan a trip.
That is a great idea. We have more and more been soliciting ideas from our seniors, but again, you know, we're a bit limited because we're all volunteers, and
Sure.
and we don't have any source of funds that we can count on. So
I'm very grateful.
love the
very grateful for
trips.
the funds that are provided to us through the city. You know, and like I
Yeah.
said, the support that is provided through the city is just outstanding. I could not ask for better support from our administration.
you're so lucky.
I did for one of our vehicles, we were able to secure a grant. So we were able to secure a grant. At the time, it was Kaiser Permanente, so that tells you how old the vehicle is. But we were able to secure a grant for $25,000 towards the purchase of one of those vehicles, which was very helpful. And then,
Now that's a good idea. So you solicited.
so there was a community block grant available through Kaiser Permanente for transportation, and I said, "Oh, what a great opportunity!"
Oh,
so
Laura, I never even
that
knew
was
that
very
existed.
helpful. Now, a wheelchair accessible bus, when we were purchasing them a number of years ago, was somewhere between $70,000 and $75,000.
Yeah, I know.
So
they are expensive.
$25,000 may not seem a lot, but it was very significant, because then we only had to come up with the additional
50.
funding for that, which
Yeah.
really was helpful at the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
obviously we appreciate the support and sponsorship, but obviously there are numerous grants out there as well that we try to do our best to see what grants are available and what we might qualify for. I do know AARP has a grant every year, and we're looking to look into that grant for next year for something that we might be hoping to do at the senior center as well. So grant opportunities as well as sponsorships, as you mentioned, some of the local facilities, assisted living, independent living facilities are always interested in providing sponsorships for us. We have a senior picnic coming up in a few weeks, and
Oh, I remember that
So-
at the park.
Yep.
Oh, that is
Yep.
such an
So
occasion. Oh,
it
my
is. We have
heavens.
golf carts running people back and forth, you know.
I drove one, yes.
Yes. So, all the seniors are looking forward to that.
Oh,
of
that
course,
was
we're
so fun.
We're praying for wonderful weather.
Yeah.
So, we do a variety of special events with our seniors, not just the daily activities that we have going on at the senior center with the line dancing and the billiards and all of the card games that you could think of, and the bingos and the movies that we have. We also have special events throughout the year. We do a ladies' tea every year. We do a ladies' celebration around Mother's Day.
Oh.
We do a St. Patty's Day party.
I remember
We do an
that.
Oktoberfest. And we do a holiday party every year at the Hilton, which is about 320 people. So some of our events are larger, some of them are smaller, but we seek to serve a number of individuals, and there's a lot of variety in what
Yes.
we provide.
Big range in terms of interest and ability, I think I've noticed over the last couple of years, from the boomers to older who want to still want to get out and enjoy everything.
Yes, exactly. They want to be involved.
Right.
They want to connect with people. Unfortunately, I heard a very sad statistic this morning about our older population and just the loneliness that they feel. Not just during the pandemic were they feeling lonely, but now they're still feeling lonely. And so the challenge for us is obviously, let's reach out to them. How can we do that? And how can we do a better job of reaching out to them? So that's one of the things, obviously, that's on my radar that I hope to accomplish in the coming years. You know, let's reach those folks that are not being reached. How can we do that? What things do we need to change? I'm always looking for ways to improve. We're never at the climax of where we want to be. There's always things that we can do that are better. We can always do better, and I'm always looking for ways to do that. I'm always looking for suggestions from the seniors. Hey, what do you want to see us do differently? How can we do that better? So, for example, yesterday the senior board took care of our coffee and pastry, and so I asked them, I said, so what can we do differently next time? How would you want to improve this so that it's easier for you, or what can I do to make it easier for you? So always looking for ways to improve.
You have done a wonderful job. You have done a wonderful job. I think that
it's a team.
Oh my
Remember,
gosh.
It's a team.
It's
a team.
4 minutes, Laura. I don't know how that even happened. I want to ask you very quickly, leaf raking, trash pickup, snow plowing.
Okay, so we do have services in addition to the senior center.
Yep.
So we have a transportation service, as I mentioned. We
Groceries, drugstore.
Yep, 10-mile radius for doctor's appointments,
Okay.
5-mile radius for anything non-medical. We also have a leaf raking program through our local Cub Scout groups. They provide that for our seniors every year.
Now
so our Cub Scout groups take care of leaf raking for us. Trash pickup is completely free in the city of Twinsburg.
For everyone?
For everyone.
Okay.
So the seniors do not have to pay for trash pickup. We also provide a lifeline service, the I've fallen and can't get up button for our folks.
Yes.
So the city subsidizes that program based upon income.
Okay.
So based upon their income determines how much of that monthly fee that they're responsible for.
Okay.
And then of course, we're talking about snow. Come on, it's August and we're talking about snow.
It's going to be a bad winter. I've been hearing that.
So our senior snowplow program applications begin to be accepted starting September 1st through November 30th. And that is also an income-based program. So if the household income is greater than $60,000, they do not qualify for our program.
Okay.
But anything under $60,000, they do qualify for our program. We provide it free for an income base less than $32,000, and then a household income between $32,000 and $60,000. There is a $50 fee at this time for that service. So we do provide a variety of services for our residents, not just the senior center. Not everybody wants to come out to a senior center, but we do serve about 45 people currently on our Lifeline program. And then our transportation program, our monthly transports are anywhere between 500 and 550 transports per month.
Oh my word!
People are going to the grocery store, people are needing to get prescriptions, people are getting their hair done, we're taking them to the bank, physical therapy, medical appointments.
So it's errands. Instead of getting in your car and going to get your hair done and then running to the drugstore, you've got this.
Some people aren't able to get in their car anymore and go and do those types of things. So we have a scheduled trip to Drug Mart on Senior Day, the first Wednesday of every month, so that they can get to Drug Mart if they want to. But you know, some of these folks aren't able to get themselves out, so we're there to help provide that service to them. And with the Cleveland Clinic and University hospitals right in Twinsburg, it sure does make it very nice.
Right. Oh, I agree.
You know,
and they're so close even to Hudson.
Yes.
I wish we had 20 more minutes, and we don't. And I cannot tell you how sincerely impressed I am about you, Laura, but what you offer your seniors in Twinsburg. You should be so proud of yourselves. I hope you are. I hope you know what a good thing you're doing.
I cannot reiterate enough that the fact that we are what we are is because of our administration and the support that we get from our administration. It rolls back all the way when Kathy Prokop was mayor and she saw a vision, we need a senior center. And she helped make that happen. And then our administration since has just been supportive nonstop for what we want to provide for our seniors in the community. People are moving to Twinsburg because of what we provide our seniors. And we take great pride in that, and we want to take care of the seniors as they move to Twinsburg. And so we hope to continue to be able to provide that for our folks, and we hope that we continue to provide new, innovative programming for our seniors and that they will age well in our community.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for watching. I hope you're doing some good thinking about what other communities are doing for their seniors and what Hudson is doing for their seniors on a 100% volunteer basis. It's food for thought. Remember, we have elections coming up this fall. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.